The Eastern Conference first round had some amazing moments that we've all been waiting to see, from Joel Embiid playing like a Shaq-Hakeem hybrid while still injured, to the Miami Heat giving Celtic fans PTSD in the playoffs, to the Showtime Pacers making their emergence starting this postseason, to Damian Lillard leaving Portland and once again having to carry a team of bums in the playoffs, to the Orlando Magic suddenly relearning how to shoot a basketball in Game 3. This is everything that went down in the Eastern Conference playoffs so far. The winner of the Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks in this playoff series determines who has the more unbearable and annoying fan base. Game 1 was on Saturday afternoon, where the 76ers got off to an early lead, finishing the first quarter up 9 points. Joel Embiid was having a monster first half until late in the second quarter when he went up for this dunk, and Philly fans saw a real-life nightmare.
Chance points and fast break points that has created this margin for the Knicks. Oh! Joel Embiid off the backboard, but he's holding on to that left knee.
You know what's scary? When Embiid starts blinking with one eye, looking like an American Barbie doll. And soon after Embiid came out of the game, one would expect the 76ers lost their lead and lost it quick. But luckily for Philly fans, Embiid came back into this game. But by the time he came back, the Knicks were already rolling and eventually won this game 111-104. Joel Embiid, despite his amazing first half, didn't have the greatest shooting day, shooting 8 of 22 from the field. It was really Tyrese Maxey who was keeping the 76ers afloat, scoring 33 points on 14 of 26 from the field. For the Knicks, despite Jalen Brunson's off day, shooting 8 of 26 and only scoring 22 points, the role players really won this game.
Aggressiveness of the Sixers defensively. Josh Hart with 5 to shoot. Hart tries a 3, puts it in.
Like Alex McBride and Josh Hart, who both had 20 plus points. Game 2 was also a battle in the Madison Square Garden. The 76ers came off of a close loss in Game 1 and were looking to even out this series. And once again, Game 2 was a close game that came down to the wire. The 76ers grabbed the lead early and held onto it for all of the first half. Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey combined for 36 points in the first half to put them up 53-49. However, this game didn't really get spicy until the fourth quarter, where it was anyone's game. But if you didn't watch this game in person, you literally wouldn't believe this sequence. It started off with the score of 101-96 Philly. The Knicks had the ball. Jalen Brunson hits this rattling three-pointer that barely falls.
Sidestep, three-pointer, shot, it's good!
But it gets even better. All it would take from Philly to seal this game would be to get this inbound pass and get fouled. But after about a dozen missed foul calls, the ball somehow winds up in the Knicks' hands, where Donte DiVincenzo gets this open three.
DiVincenzo, his shot won't go.
Misses, gets another one and hits it.
Oh, Hartenstein the rebound. Hartenstein gets it out to Anunoby. DiVincenzo a 3.
6 points in about 13 seconds. And Philly with a chance to win it.
Maxey on the drive, goes inside. Lampy missed it. Anunoby the rebound.
Blocked. And just like that, New York is up 2-0.
I mean, listen to this. This is what we do.
Game 3 in the Wells Fargo Center in Philly, the 76ers were fired up to not end up how the Lakers are with the Nuggets. And Game 3 started with some early controversy because Joel Embiid, after not getting his flop like a fish out of water call, starts complaining to the ref and takes his anger out on Mitchell Robinson in quite the worst way possible.
Attack with Embiid, shovel pass. Robinson is bumped, boy, look out.
And Embiid was really ready to square up with the whole Knicks roster. But after a series of lead changes in the first half, the second half saw the 76ers take a firm lead. Joel Embiid was able to transfer his energy into a 50-point game. On 13 made field goals, 21 free throw attempts is crazy. Him and Maxey combined for 75 points. I think it's super impressive what Joel Embiid has been doing during the playoffs this year. Not only is 50 points absolutely insane, but you can tell he's not 100% himself. Realistically, he's like 60% himself at best. Just imagine what a healthy 76ers team could do in May and June. For the Knicks, Jalen Brunson swore he was Kobe Bryant in 06, shooting 27 shot attempts. Well, actually never mind, because Kobe never passed the ball and Brunson had 13 assists. Despite great performances from guys like Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Isaiah Hartenstein, it wasn't enough. So the Knicks find themselves up 2-1 in this series, where they'll try to weather off the pure outrage from Philly fans in Game 4. The Celtics and the Heat was a series we were all secretly hoping for. The Celtics and Heat have matched up 3 times in the last 4 seasons, the Heat winning in 2020 and 2023, and Boston winning in 2022. However, this year, the Heat are deprived of their superstar Jimmy Butler, and Game 1 was a real struggle for Miami without Butler, because the Celtics quite literally dominated the Heat in Game 1 last Saturday afternoon. The Celtics offense was on point the entire game, just a constant barrage of threes. The C's shot 44% from 3 in Game 1 compared to the Heat's 32%. The Heat just simply couldn't match Boston's firepower. The Celtics just looked like the overwhelmingly better team out there.
Well, I just learned that this is a mismatch. I mean, without Jimmy Butler and to a lesser degree Terry Rozier, you're just overmatched.
But Stephen A might have just jinxed Game 2 for the Celtics, because the Heat came to play in Game 2, having one of their best shooting performances in NBA postseason history. The first half of the game was fairly close. Both teams were shooting the ball fairly well. However, it was the Heat who really made a statement in the second half. The Heat's offense was looking like a well-oiled machine on Wednesday night. The Heat shot an absurd 53% from three-point range, making 23 long balls. Tyler Hero was by far the best player on the floor in Game 2, scoring 24 points on 53% shooting while dishing out 14 assists. Caleb Martin was seen once again turning into a superstar against the Celtics in the playoffs. Bam Adebayo was cooking Porzingis alive, straight barbecue chicken.
Gotta be loving what he's seeing here. His Heat thriving right now. Tyler Hero taking on Porzingis.
Speaking of Porzingis, he might have played one of his worst playoff games ever, shooting 1 of 9 from the field. Besides the Jays, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, it was pretty quiet for the rest of Boston. The Heat are once again giving Celtics fans PTSD in the playoffs. It doesn't matter who the Heat have, as long as Erik Spoelstra is coaching that team, they have a legit chance in any series. Erik Spoelstra could probably take 5 of my subscribers to the NBA Finals if he really wanted to. Cavs vs Magic might be one of the most slept on series in the NBA playoffs. If you're a fan of old school 90s and early 2000s basketball, you'll love this series, because Game 1 was a very chippy and physical game. A battle between 2 teams that both have amazing defenses and not so great offenses. Game 1 started off with the Cavs grabbing an early lead. Donovan Mitchell was on fire in the first quarter, and the Cavs were able to hold on to this lead for pretty much the rest of the game. They came away with a low-scoring 97-83 win. Despite the solid offense Orlando brings, the Twin Towers from Cleveland and Mobley and Jarrett Allen, and the excellence of D. Mitch was too much for an inexperienced Magic team. The Magic the whole game really struggled to get a rhythm going on offense. They were heavily reliant on free throws, and when those free throws decided not to fall in the second half, they were out of business. Game 2 in Cleveland, we saw a very similar result. It started off with an offensive eruption from the Cavs. Donovan Mitchell had 14 points on 5 of 7 shooting from that period. Jalen Suggs, while contesting D. Mitch on a jumper, injured his knee.
In a lot of pain. Here, a timeout. Magic trainers out to take a look.
He was taken out, but thankfully brought back in the second half. The Magic, without their best on-ball defender, had a bad first half, going down 58-44 at the Horn. And in the second half, it wasn't that much better for Orlando, unable to overcome their deficit. Once again, Game 2, the offensive struggles that the Magic have had in this series have been pretty noticeable. Of course, this team is great defensively, keeping Cleveland below the triple digits in both games, but I guess the Magic, who look like they're stuck in the dead ball era. Newsflash, in 2024, you need to get buckets to win. The guards from the Magic, like Paolo, Gary Harris, and Jalen Suggs, simply couldn't match the production of guys like Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell on the Cavs. But the Magic players must have ate something really good that day for breakfast in the morning of Game 3, because the Magic on Thursday suddenly relearned how to shoot a basketball. It was a buckets party in Orlando and the Cavs weren't invited. Almost everyone from the Magic had a great day in their 121-83 point blowout. Paolo Banchero led their way with 31 points on 13 of 26 shooting. Jalen Suggs shot 9 of 11 with 24 points. Franz Wagner had 16 points on 6 of 12 shooting, and almost every other role player on that team was getting buckets. And from the Cavs, it was nothing but Clank City. Cleveland fans only had one question on their mind that whole game. Is it possible to fire your coach mid-game? So the Magic win a crucial Game 3 on their home turf, bringing the series 2-1, looking to tie it up on Saturday, and the Cavs looking to virtually close out the series if they could grab a 3-1 lead. The Milwaukee Bucks versus the Indiana Pacers might become the 2024 version of Celtics versus Pistons in the 80s. Rough, physical, and pure hatred from both sides. The Milwaukee Bucks coming into this series might have been one of the most doubted teams, losing 6 of their last 8 regular season games and not having Giannis because of his calf injury. People were very skeptical of the Milwaukee Bucks' 2024 postseason chances, but Damian Lillard quickly put these doubts to an end, going absolutely nuts in Game 1.
A deep run with this experienced team.
Siakam has 15. Lillard. Oh, he's feeling it! 0 of 9 from downtown. Lillard, step back.
Lillard scored a whopping 35 points in the first half. The Pacers, on the other hand, looked like they figured out how to shoot a basketball, shooting 3 of 18 from 3 in the first half. The Bucks, ever since the first half, cruised to a 15-point win, reminding the league that they are legit. If Game 1 taught us anything, it's that playoff experience does matter, because Pascal Siakam, the only player with any significant postseason experience on that Pacers roster, it really seemed like it was just him versus the experienced Milwaukee Bucks. This was really a wake-up call for these young guys, but they would respond back in Game 2 on Tuesday night. Game 2 at the Fiserv Forum was tight at first. Neither team in the first half could quite capture a notable lead. Damian Lillard once again had an astonishing first half, with 26 points on 7 of 12 shooting. It wasn't until the second half where Indiana really stretched out their lead. The Pacers were on fire this half, shooting over 60% from the field and 40% from 3.
Siakam drives, stops, blocks, and hits, scored. Inside, Pascal, turnaround, Jay, again!
Pascal Siakam has really been their go-to guy for the Pacers, dropping 36 in Game 1 and 37 in Game 2. Tyrese Halliburton has really embraced his role as a playmaker. While he isn't putting up some of the crazy games he was putting up pre-All-Star break, he's still making plays for his teammates. Now let's take it to Game 3, where the Pacers would be hosting in the Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and the Pacers used this home court advantage to their advantage right away, having a blazing hot first quarter, taking a 39-22 lead. The Pacers' offense was rolling at home. Tyrese Halliburton recorded 11 assists in the first half. Slowly but surely, though, the Milwaukee Bucks clawed their way back into this game, tying the game around the beginning of the fourth quarter. And the end of this game was a dogfight that was worth more than the price of admission. It was a neck-and-neck game until we all thought the Pacers were going up 2-1 in this series. I mean, what are the chances someone actually hits a 3 to send this game into overtime? Oh wait.
It'll go to Lopez. Middleton got to look for 3. Got it!
Christopher Michael Jordan Middleton had other plans though. In OT, the Bucks made Andrew Nembhard look like Dennis Rodman. Once again, when the Bucks found themselves down 3, who better to give the ball to than Chris Kobe Bryant Middleton?
Lillard with the ball, guarded by Neesmith. Off the screen.
Double screen.
Middleton for 3 for the tie. Banks it.
Straight glass. And when we thought this would be a double OT thriller, Tyrese Halliburton must have had other plans after this game.
6 seconds to go. Crosses over on Beverly. Float game for the win. Tyrese.
So the Pacers find themselves up 2-1 in this series with all the momentum and another home game coming up to make this lead 3-1. I hope you all enjoyed this recap of the first round of the playoffs so far. If you're interested in what's going on in the Western Conference, go check out the linked video in the end screen. And send this video to your friend who wants to get into the NBA.